most
No,
random
I'm not
example.
talking about you saying, I'm saying you don't talk about it, right? I'm not criticizing you for not talking about it. I'm saying finally, when there are people who are like, we've had 25 people pushed in front of trains, we've had 2 of them killed, I'm not going to let this person hurt somebody. It's y'all saying that person should go to prison. It's like, how is that solving the problem? You guys are making it worse. Your protests, your support for the criminals make this worse.
So our solution to this, if you're asking, when you're saying you mean the left, right? Our solution to a lot of this is that
you're speaking in support of the criminal, so I'm saying you.
Okay, so I am saying that the solution to a lot of this would be investing very heavily.
Oh, Tim just owned him right there. He didn't even know it. That was impressive.
Way to preventing a problem like this and future problems that are going to happen. I have no idea what's going on with the 25 people who've been pushed in front of trains. If it happens to be because people have mental illness, this is a tangible solution that we could work towards. This is something that are you against that?
If they have mental illness, like, of course they have mental illness. If they're pushing people in front of fucking trains, the fuck, guy.
Idea about investing heavily into mental health care, public health care. Well, then there you go. So that's a much better line.
So here's
right?
my issue. My issue is when this story came out in October, we talked about it. And we said, why is this happening? What are the solutions? What are the problems? When this story comes out now, you, completely ignorant of what's been going on in New York, side with the criminal. And so people like me are flabbergasted that we've been focused on the issue of crime, the issue of mental health, the entire time going back several years. And this is why I left New York, because 2 cops got murdered outside of my apartment. And then what do we hear? Protesters in the street defending the criminals.
You keep saying criminal. I have a problem with criminalizing people who are homeless or people who are poor or people who are mentally ill.
No. I'm not saying he's a criminal for being poor. I'm saying he's a criminal because he threatened people with harm. Like incitement to violence is a crime, just like AOC says, right?
For mass shootings, for mass gun violence, for that kind of stuff.
You have 30 million people, don't you? Is it 30 million?
Okay, so by ratio of the population, Tim. So if you compare ratio of the population, Canadians to America, we don't have mass shootings like you do. No one else does. It's a uniquely American problem. The mass shooting thing is a uniquely American thing.
Obesity is pretty heavy here.
Well, it's. I don't think it's fair to say uniquely American because there are mass shootings in many other countries.
Oh, there is, but it's a uniquely American problem that it's disproportionately happening here.
Is it all right if I just finish my thought?
Sure.
Yeah. So my basic point.
That was way off. The United States is not the most. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th.
Yeah. In the framework of Canada has a very different set of rules for firearms than the United States does. You can still have a firearm in Canada. You just have to take a 2-day course and you get a license and then you get gun training and then you have the ability to buy guns. And that way, everyone has a license. They know how to use firearms properly. They're not just going to be running around the streets, pointing them and then all that kind of shit. And you can also control for that.
But that's not...
That was so crazy. The fact that people that are shooting people need more training. That's the reason why gun violence is so high. Because people are accidentally shooting each other. That's not true at all. Like the firearms training won't help people from wanting to kill other people. It's such a ridiculous argument to have. What's wrong with this guy?
And there are letters, by the way, signed by literally thousands of doctors who have said
let me ask. Let me ask.
Can I just say one thing? So 88% of abortions are in the first 12 weeks. 88. Yeah. 88% of abortions. Less than 1.3% of abortions take place near the 8th or 9th month.
How many abortions
is that? Guttmacher?
Well, how many is that?
I don't know the actual numbers.
13,
this is the percentages.
13,000.
Okay, but we're talking about less than 1.3%.
Hold on, 13,000. That's the number of people who die from gun violence in the U.S. each year that aren't suicides.
Colorado, for instance, passes a law saying there is no medical requirement for an abortion. Is it wrong to kill the baby?
You're trying to compare murdering someone with a gun to a woman having to make a medical decision that could basically preserve her life.
No. I said not a medical.
Yeah, poor guy. Like Temple just said, that's not medical.
Reason. That's what I'm saying.
Should she have the ability to have an abortion for any reason? Yes.
At 9 months.
At 9 months, I would say at 9 months, because it only happens, according to the stats, based on complete medical necessity, she has a right to do it.
No,
That's not true.
She should have a right.
Hold
She should have a right to do it.
on. Colorado legalized abortion in up to 9 months with no medical reason required. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that decision. Yeah.
Oh God, this guy is being over the head with these.
So the baby could survive on its own, and the mother is legally now allowed to just end its life.
She has the right if she wanted to. You're saying so in Colorado, and
It's not a trick question. You're allowed
I know,
that.
but I'm asking you because you're the one who brought this up. I don't know what Colorado's specific law says. So if you were saying that in Colorado, women have the ability at 9 months to have an abortion for any reason, they could just decide that they're
Elective,
bored.
yeah.
Okay, I think they should have the right to do that, but the stats show that they're not doing that. But they should have a legal right to do that. Yes, it's their body, it's their choice, of course.
So this is what I disagree on. I think if the baby needs to be removed from the woman, there's no reason to kill it. You know what I mean? Like you could just C-section and then put it for adoption.
But I'm telling you that doesn't happen.
But it
does.
But hold on. Like
You might be able to bring up anecdotes, but the stats don't say that.
But hold on. Like, why allow it to happen? I just don't understand. Are you arguing? Wait, hold on. Are you arguing you oppose it, and you think it's morally wrong, but you think it should be legal?
I think that women should have the right to decide what they do and have bodily autonomy over their own bodies.
We're not talking about her body. We're talking.
It is her body. Of course it is. At 9 months, even if it's still inside her, it's still her body. Even if it's a viable
we're
baby,
talking
it's still her
about
body.
the removal of the baby. Yes.
The forceful removal of the baby, or
Forceful.
so she chooses to have that. She
The
should have the
woman
right.
says the baby must be removed from my body. Why kill the baby if they're removing it?
I don't think they should do that. I would if
But you think it
they
should be
asked
legal?
me, Lance, should I do this? I would say no, but she should have a right. Yes, of course. It's her body still. That doesn't stop.
So, like, the woman is pregnant, the baby is viable and capable of surviving on its own.
Sure.
And she says before it breaches oxygen, kill it. Do you think that should be allowed?
This is again the baby guillotines. This is why I brought that up.
but
what a weird scenario. This doesn't happen. This is not the real world.
But it does.
When?
And if the argument is that it doesn't happen enough for you to care, that's fine. You're allowed to believe that.
Sure.
What I don't understand is it seems like
Boom! Like he just got wrecked.
your position is a rather shocked position where you recognize there is something inherently wrong with taking the life of a baby that could survive on its own, but you're also taking the tribal position of women should be allowed to do it anyway.
No. If you were to ask me, Tim, hey, Lance, do you think it's a good idea if this woman who's 9 months pregnant, suddenly she got bored with the pregnancy, she doesn't want to have it anymore, but the baby's viable? Do you think that's a good thing to do? I would be like, no, of course not.
Then why should it be allowed?
Because it's still her right. It's still her body.
But the
bodily
baby-
autonomy doesn't stop
the
at my
baby-
morality. Tim,
the baby
it's
is
not
being
my
removed,
choice.
right?
It's
All this guy has is just left-wing talking points. You can tell he's never debated this issue before, that he's never even talked to a right-winger. All he literally has is left-wing talking points, and he gets absolutely demolished. I recommend everybody to actually go watch this full podcast.
It's not my yes, but that's not
Why
my choice.
kill it? Why
But
kill it?
That's her choice, not mine.
Why kill the baby?
Ask her.
So,
Ask her.
Okay, so my point is simply this. You don't need to be shocked by it. You're allowed to have that moral position. I think most people in America would prescribe that to be, would ascribe evil to that.
Sure.
But that's the idea.
You can ascribe evil to whatever you want. That's up to you. That's your choice.
The idea that you would say
doesn't mean that she should
the woman
legally be
Like, that's your choice to describe evil. Like it's her choice to kill the baby. It's the fuck.
wants the baby removed, and then in the process, instead of letting the baby live, remove it but kill it. Right? There's no reason to do that. You can give the baby up for adoption. You can drop the baby off on the doorstep of a post office.
I agree with you. I'm not
So
disputing
why
that.
legalize? Even if it's one, why legalize? You see, this is the craziest thing.
Because her autonomy should not be cut off based on your morality, because you don't think that idea is good.
He's acting like all of our laws ain't based on human morality. No, they are. That's why we're not allowed to go and shoot people and kill people for no reason, because, our morality says it's illegal to do. What the fuck?
Good. You don't like it.
But the baby's been
that's
removed
not where
from
we
her
should determine
body.
it. Well, that's if it was removed from her body and it was still viable, right? And that's where the baby guillotines come in, because I don't think this happens. I don't think women on the
They've already established this happens 13,000 times a year. Like, why does he keep saying it doesn't happen when clearly it does? What the fuck?
9th month get abortions with viable living children and then be like, I don't want it, kill it. I don't think that happens.
I mean, you don't have to think it happens, but statistically it does, because your entire argument is this only happens for reasons of the health of the mother or the health of the unborn child.
I said,
so you believe it only
I said the
happens because there's
statistics show that at the 9th month, if a woman is going to have an abortion, it's typically because it's a medical complication that could either endanger her or the child's life.
And what I am
Well,
saying
so
is there
let
are
me-
doctors who will justify that by saying the medical complication is she is depressed.
This is where he brings up another, of course, left-wing talking point, talking about forced birth. Like, he argues like Republicans are for forced birth, as if the baby is not going to come out unless you give birth to it. No, the baby's going to come out regardless. I'll check this shit out. It's fucking hilarious.
Even if they end the pregnancy, and there's no logic there.
The logic is that I don't think you agree with forced birth at a point.
How?
How at 8 months? At 8 months, Tim Pool thinks forced birth is fucking cool and poggy.
Stop making up stupid bullshit.
He said how? He's like, how? You think forced birth is cool and funny? The fuck?
But
No, hold on.
That's what this is.
Bro.
This is 100%. 100% forced birth.
Nonsense statement,
No.
because I already said I agree with you.
No,
a
no,
woman,
you
a
agree
woman
with me
should be
up
able
to
to
a
end her
point.
pregnancy
You
whenever she
agree with
wants.
me up to 8 months,
A
Tim.
woman could end her pregnancy whenever she wants. Say it. Tim Pool said a woman can end her pregnancy whenever she wants.
Yeah, what he's saying there is, yeah, a woman can end her pregnancy whenever she wants. You just can't kill the baby, is what he's trying to say. I don't think this guy gets it.
Stop.
I demand you
aborting
say
is
it.
giving birth are both
you
ending a
make
pregnancy.
make up something fake. Tim Pool agrees with forced birth is a false statement. You're lying. I have already said I believe that women have a right to terminate their pregnancy up to a certain amount of time.
At 8 months is
and
where you draw the
then-
line.
No, I
That's
didn't.
yes, you
No, I
just said
didn't.
that. If the baby is viable, that she shouldn't have the right to be able to terminate it.
To
right?
kill the baby.
Yes,
I
yes.
said she can end the pregnancy whenever she wants.
And ending the pregnancy can be giving birth or aborting the
or
baby.
a C-section that keeps the
Oh,
baby
so
alive.
she has to be forced to give birth.
Oh, so she has to be forced to give birth. Like, oh my fucking god, this fucking guy. Like the baby won't be coming out any other way unless you make her give birth. Oh fuck, dude.
Against her will in a
so-
C-section, but the baby is viable and they give it
So
off.
how do they remove
So
the
hold
baby
on,
at 8
either way,
months?
the baby comes out of her. You're saying
Right,
that it's more
so you literally want forced birth. You literally
No,
want to force
dude,
women to give birth
hold
against their
on.
will.
Oh my god, like where the fuck did this guy get his common sense from? Like it's just lacking. Like he's basically saying that, you know, if the baby I can't even say it. It's ridiculous. Let's just listen.
So,
Can I just
so you're saying
interject here?
Yeah.
Can I
you're
please just
saying
make-
they should use the tools to rip apart the body and pull that out, whereas I'm saying they should just take
No,
the baby
I'm saying
out.
she should have the right to decide what happens to her body. That's it.
Okay, but all right,
Body.
but
Wait,
there's
wait,
a
wait,
child
wait,
inside of her
hold on,
body,
hold on.
and not
What
her.
about
Yes.
meth?
Like, should she be allowed to do meth?
Yeah.
I think if someone is doing meth while they're pregnant, that it is completely acceptable for something like I don't know what the name of the service is in the United States.
Child
For-
services?
I guess
Child
DCFS
services?
would be.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's her body though.
Yeah, it's her body.
If she wants to do meth, what's the big deal?
The big deal is that she's intentionally trying to kill a child.
Hold on.
Good for it. Hold on there. Like this bless this guy's heart, man. He's just getting fucking pounded over the head continuously. What his problem is his beliefs ain't grounded in any type of rational logic. It's all just hive mind talking points where he has to toe the line or else he knows he'll get canceled. So he doesn't actually have any moral like standing, and so he just keeps getting bashed over the head.
This is important. 1776's Life says, "What is a woman?"
Would you like me to answer that?
Yeah.
A woman is an adult human female.
Easy enough.
I agree with that.
So trans women are not women?
Oh, they
Also,
absolutely
I
are.
would answer that.
They're
What is a
adult
woman?
human females.
A woman is hot.
Trans women aren't female, they're male.
No, they're female.
Can I make a
So
point
a
here?
biological male cannot become a biological female.
No,
okay.
no one is saying they can. No,
You just did.
No, I didn't. Not
I
whatsoever.
asked you what a woman was.
Yes, an adult human female.
And I said, is a trans woman a female? You said yes.
I said a trans woman is a woman, and they absolutely are. This is not a gotcha.
But a woman is a female.
Cis women and trans women are different, and trans women do not say that they're cis women. They don't, and that's what makes them
They
trans.
say they're women.
Yeah, of course, because black women and white women are different, but they're both women.
But trans
woman is
women,
a
Trans woman and a cis woman are different, but
you
they're
said a
both
woman is female.
women. An adult human female.
But a trans woman is male. That's what makes them trans.
They are not male.
So
They're women.
I just want to make a point.
But a woman is female.
They are assigned.
Assigned.
You're assigned your gender at birth. So we're only
gender
one.
is observed.
We're two, right? We're two super chats in.
I feel like a trans woman
just
is a
wanna-
man and a trans man is a woman, and they're both. You're both a trans woman and a man together.
They don't
You never
see it that
stop
way.
becoming one.